Welcome to a short BiteWISe video about choosing a journal to publish in. As more and more journals and journal articles are being published, the latest estimate is 3 million a year, or approximately 1 every 11 seconds, the pressure to reach your audience is ever increasing. There are a number of factors to consider when you are choosing a journal. Firstly, and most importantly, consider what your research is about. What are the key messages you want to communicate? And what do you need your audience to take away from reading your article? This will help you to match your article to the scope of the journal. Secondly, consider who you are trying to reach. If your target audience are fellow scholars, you might need to take a different approach than you would to reach policymakers or practitioners. Consider where your audience are and what they are likely to be reading. This might also influence how you publish your research. Is a scholarly journal the best medium for your message? Would an article in a trade journal be more likely to reach your audience? Or would a book be a better format for communicating your research effectively? There may be other points you need to take into consideration. Are you publishing as part of a wider impact strategy? And does your public engagement plan require you to make your research available in a particular format? The People's History of the NHS project is a good example of this, with outputs including an online virtual museum. Is your research interdisciplinary? It can sometimes be difficult to place interdisciplinary articles, as journals tend to be subject specific. You could choose to focus on one particular aspect of your topic, or consider submitting to an interdisciplinary journal, such as Exchanges, which is based here at Warwick. Many research funders now also have open access requirements. Please check the library open access pages for more information. Identifying a suitable journal. Once you have the answers to these questions, you can start thinking about which journal or journals you might want to approach. It's a good idea to have several options in mind, although you should only submit to one journal at a time to avoid the risk of duplicate publication. Often a good place to start is with journals you regularly cite yourself, or asking your supervisor or other colleagues working in the same field if they have any journals they would recommend. There are also online tools you can use to search for journals and develop your list of potential titles. One particularly useful tool is the Insight's Journal Citation Reports, a database of scholarly and technical journals which allows you to evaluate and compare titles based on citation data. It is based on the Web of Science dataset and covers journals across a range of disciplines in science, technology and the social sciences. As well as being able to search for a journal by title or keywords, you can also browse by journal or by category. Browsing by category will give you aggregated data for all journals in that category. To browse journals in a particular category, click Browse by Journal. You can then select the category using the filters on the left-hand side. For this example, we're going to look at journals in the fields of astronomy and astrophysics. The current year, which is the default, is the best one to use, although historical data is available for comparison. Click the Submit button to see a list of all journals in that category. The default indicators for each journal in the list are total cites, the total number of times that a journal has been cited by all journals included in the Web of Science dataset in the report year, impact factor, the average number of times articles from the journal published in the past 2 years have been cited in the report year, eigenfactor score, an indicator of a journal's importance to the scientific community. The eigenfactor takes into account the number of articles a journal publishes as well as the number of times they are cited. The total eigenfactor scores for all journals in the dataset add up to 100. You can also customise the view and include other indicators such as the 5-year impact factor. You can also compare journals, and if you set up a Web of Science account, you can add journals that might be of interest to a list so you can come back to them later. You can see more information about an individual journal by clicking on the title. There is more guidance on how to interpret the indicators used by JCR on their help pages, which you can find by clicking on the help link at the top right of the screen. Metrics such as the journal impact factor can be useful when you are trying to choose a journal, but be wary of making your decision solely based on quantitative measures. Don't forget to take into account the process of submitting to a particular journal and whether this will work for you. Things you might want to consider include: is the journal peer-reviewed? If not, why not? This can be a red flag that the journal is predatory, so do make sure you check the journal's credentials. What's the acceptance rate for the journal? As a general rule, the higher the impact factor, the more likely you are to be rejected. What length of article can you submit? Word counts do vary, so make sure the article format will suit your topic. How long will publication take? If you need to publish quickly, a journal with a long lead time may not be the best option. How is the journal regarded in your discipline? Does the journal have a good reputation amongst your peers? Considering journals from multiple angles can help you make an informed choice about the best journal to disseminate your research to your intended audience. There are more videos about finding journals to publish in on our BiteWISe playlist. Thank you for listening.